What you're looking at here in the background is the next deck series, or three decks for my request series, and this is going to have to do with the red quest, mono red quest units, and Amaterasu's Thunder Edge. The reason I chose Thunder Edge is it's very underused. Not a lot of people use it. And it gives a unit +1 and agility, and some of the new red quest cards, as you'll see, proc off hero arts, and they have flying, and they're above destroy cost, or they're just harder to destroy. So I thought, hey, let's combine that aspect and make them a threat, and also proc their quest abilities at the same time. So this video is going to take a look at 3 decks. With Amaterasu's Thunder Edge, 2 are very, very similar, just a change of a couple cards, but they play a little bit differently. And then 1 kind of a theme deck, and then we're going to look at some quick combos that come with this, because Red Quest kind of equals some great combos. And yeah, so let's have some fun, guys. Okay, so let's take a look at what Red Quest units do. So there's 3 types of ways there's 3 different quests for red units. There's the enemy hero, or an enemy unit takes 3 or more damage. The enemy hero takes damage. Or your hero uses a hero art. So all 3 play very differently, but they all intertwine together for some very cool combinations. So we're just going to look at some that I don't use in the decks. I don't really use Mage Goo. I use him in the Explore version, but his main thing is the enemy hero or enemy unit takes 3 damage and he explores for Flare. And Flare deals 2 damage to 1 enemy unit, and give that unit take 1 damage every 5 seconds for 4 times. So for 20 seconds, he'll get 6 damage. Unit I don't even use is Bomber. He has Flight and Quest, and it's the enemy hero takes damage. He deals 2 damage to 1 random enemy unit. And Sumika, she's a human and monster. The enemy hero takes damage at level 2. She gains +1/+1, so she becomes a 3/5, and at level 3 she deals 3 damage to a random enemy unit. So she's got a little bit of burn, a little bit of chip, it's decent for a common. She knows a rare. She's a human monster, and she has Rush. Her quest is the enemy hero takes damage. At level 2 she gains combo, and at level 3 she explores for Restless Thunder and give it -2 MP. Restless Thunder it's 3 costs, it deals 4 damage to 1 enemy unit, and if there's a friendly monster unit on the field, it halts the unit for 5 seconds. So it becomes a 1 cost, and you do 4 and halt, which is very, very good. Winged Princess Nina is the new legendary. She has Veil, and quest the enemy hero or unit takes 3 or more damage. At level 2 she gains +1/+1, so she becomes a 2/8. At level 3 she explores for Jolt, and then gives all action cards in your EX pocket -1. And Jolt does 4 damage split. At level 4 she gains another +1/+1, so she becomes a 3/9, and she explores for Melanier, and then give all action cards -2. And Melanier deals 9 damage split. So you can, if you get them both at once, you basically have Jolt and Melanier for 2 and 1, and you can just burn the field. Very, very good legendary. Momo is the next unit. While in the field, she gives all friendly units +1 attack, which is fantastic, and that's where the combos start to come into play. And her quest is the enemy unit or hero takes 3 or more damage, and level 2 she gives 1 random friendly unit +3 HP to keep them alive on the board. At level 3 she explores for Quake and gives it -2. So you have a 2 cost, sacrifice 3 life, and destroy all units with 4 or less HP. And at level 3 she gives all friendly units +2, so she buffs her units and then gives you one of the best destroy cards in the game. Rathalos Kinmary is the other legendary unit, and she's a human and a monster, and she has Flight and Quest, and her quest is to use the enemy hero art. And at level 2 you gain art charge 5 and reduce hero's art's charge time to 0, so you can then use your art back to back if you have enough AP. Excuse me. And at level 3 it activates the effect deal damage split amongst enemy units equal to this unit's attack times 3. So you can do 2 if you don't buff her up, but with Thunder Edge it could be 3/3/3 or 4/4/4 or whatever. If you have buffs on her, it's really, really, really strong. Luna we talked about in the green video. She's a human and monster, and she has agility and shield. And her quest is the enemy hero takes damage, and she deals 3 damage split, 3 damage split, and 3 damage split. Hilda is the last one, and she's a human and a monster, and she has flight. And her quest is your hero uses a hero art, and at level 2 she does 8 damage to the unit in front. So it leads to some super combos and a 3-5 with agility, and she'd be a 4-5 with agility, and she basically blows up the unit in front of her. That's really, really, really good. And then the one action card, Princess Determination, increases the level of friendly unit with quest by 1. It's very good. I run it at 1. I don't really run it, but it's good in a pinch if you need it. So that's what red quest does. So let's take a look at the first deck. Okay, so let's take a look at the first deck. It is called Burning Request because it's got burn damage at the wazoo, and you just go to town with the actions and stuff that you get. 3 Fists of the Wyvern, it's a 1 cost to deal 2 damage in enemy unit. It's good to cycle through to get to what you need, and also chip. 1 Princess Determination, increase the level of one friendly unit of quest by 1. I decided to run 3 Power Slash. Deals 2 damage to an enemy unit. At memory 4 it does 4 damage, and memory 7 it does 6 damage, so it's nice to burn off and use, and you can use it in a pinch to chip if you have to. It's not that expensive. Mortal enemies deal damage equal to the number of action cards used in this battle plus 1 amongst all enemies, a maximum of 10 damage. And if you destroy a unit's destroyed, you get either A, which is a shield and then 3 burn, B, agility or 3 burn, and C, which is flight or 3 burn. I mostly use it just to chip if we have to. 1 provocation legend, it gives 10 art charge to your hero and 5 to the enemy hero, which is really good for this deck because if you can pull out the double combos using Mary, it's really nice. Sun Goddess Amaterasu, she's a growth unit, and she gets +1/+4 at level 2. At level 3 she gets she deals 4 damage randomly to enemy unit. At level 4 she gains +1/+1, and at level 5 she gains +2/+2 agility, veil, and indestructible. So she can't be targeted, she can't be destroyed, and unless you just block her out. So fantastic now again with the way growth works mixed with quest. It's really awesome. I run 2 Sumika, and she has quest, enemy hero takes damage, give him +1/+1, and then at the next level do 3 random damage, so she can chip and be a 3-5 to kind of be a block for a little bit. Halcyon is a new unit. He's a human and a monster, and he works with level up units, either growth or quest units. And when a friendly unit levels up, give a random enemy or random friendly unit shield, and then give this one -1 MP or HP. So you can technically do it 5 times if you can combo it out correctly on a level up and just distribute 5 easy shields. Trump card, remove your entire deck from the game, gain +7 at 8 MP. I've actually used it a couple times with this deck, and it comes in clutch. Sun Goddess, if your hero is red, they gain reduce all damage friendly units take by 1 and increase all damage enemy units takes by 1 for 25 seconds. So it's nice to block out certain action cards and even certain damage units that do 1 damage. Collapse of Negotiations, deal 5 damage to all units. For each unit destroyed by this, that unit's controller's hero gains +2 art charge. So that's really good to chip things out, or just flat out void clear low HP units, or chip them down so they would be able to be hit by Quake, etc. And also art charge if you destroy your own field. Fated Riders is a new legendary. Activate the following effects depending on the number of times friendly units have leveled up. 3 times or more, deal 4 split damage. 5 times or more, you do art charge 4. 7 times or more, you do 6 split damage. So you would do 10 split damage at if you do 7 level ups and get an art charge 4, which is really, really good. Shino, human monster, rush, and she has quest. The enemy hero takes damage. Level 2, she gains combo, so then the hero would take damage twice if you hit her, and so it would activate 2 quests for people. And level 3, she explores again for Restless Thunder and give it -2, so it becomes a 1 cost, and it's deal 4 damage to 1 enemy unit, and if a friendly monster unit is on the field, halt it for 5 seconds. Nina, the legendary, Veil, and Qeust. Enemy hero takes 3 or unit takes 3 or more damage. Level 2 gain +1/+1. Level 3 explore for Jolt, which is split 4 damage. Then give all action cards on your EX -1. And level 4 gain +1/+1 and explore for Millionaire. And then give all action cards -2, which is a split 9 damage. I put Ill-Fated Queen Himiko in here because she's a good block for the higher units, just to basically take out with her ability. She has Veil. This card cannot attack, and death deals 1 damage to a random enemy unit on the field with the highest MP. Once this effect activates 9 times or more, remove this unit from the game. So basically it's 9 separate ticks of damage to a high HP unit. The 5 MP Rathalos from the Ada set is a monster, and he has Flight and Rush, and after dealing damage to enemy hero, deal damage to 1 random enemy unit equal to this unit's attack. So with Thunder Rush, you keep popping off for 3, or even with the combination of Momo, who gives all units on the field, friendly units on the field, a +1 attack, and at Qeust, the enemy hero takes 3 or more, so the Rathalos would activate her Qeust as well. And it gives 1 random friendly unit +3 HP, so it would basically make Rathalos a 4/8 or 3/8, depending if you use the hero art or not. And you explore for Quake at level 3, which is sacrifice 3 life, destroy all enemy units with 4 HP or less, which is really, really good. And at level 4, give all friendly units +2 HP, so you buff, and really quickly, if you can give that Rathalos agility and have Momo on the field, you're just buffing your units real quick and also doing some damage and burn damage. Rathalos can marry. She's a human and a monster. She has Flight and Qeust, and needs to use your hero art. Level 2, art charge 5, and reduce your hero art's charge time to 0. And at level 3, activate the effect, deal split damage amongst enemy units equal to this unit's attack times, or 3 times. So if you can have her buffed up, it's 3, 4, 5, whatever you have, at 3 separate ticks. So it's really, really, really strong. I run 1 Luna, agility shield. She has Qeust. The enemy hero takes damage. Level 2, 3, and 4 all do 3 split damage amongst the field, so you can break shields, chip off units, etc., etc. Really good. The MVP of the deck is Hilda. She's Flight and Qeust. She's a human and monster, and her quest is your hero uses her hero art. And at level 2, she deals 8 damage to the unit in front. So you blow up the unit in front, and you have a 4/5 with agility and flight. That's just going to wreck house, especially if you have something like Halcyon on the field and she would gain shield. Ooh, it's really, really good. So that's this deck. This one's probably been the most productive and the best one out of the 3, but let's go take a look at a game. Okay, so this first game is against Choral Orchestra, against a really good player. I'm very up there on the ladder. So we open with a not particularly good hand. I don't really like it that much, but I'm going to roll with it because I have the actions that I can burn things out. But we do have Himiko, Rathalos, and Amaterasu, and we get a Shino, which is nice. So I can try to chip in when I can, but I'm going to try to empty the field out with Himiko just because I have to cycle cards. But all I got out of there was 1 unit, and this is not looking good for me. And he's shielding up. There's nothing I can really do. So I know that Amaterasu is going to get sealed, so I decide to pop him with Shino. And then use Princess Determination on Shino to get the combo to basically remove the Karin up top. And he brings a hero. He brings Larry back. And then I drop Sumiko just to block. But I'm just trying to block out a little bit here and just kind of survive. Because he's just dropping down these human units, and he reveals he's got purple. And I decided to take my shot with Rathalos here. And he got a little greedy trying to give Otane agility, and I was able to counter. And basically Rathalos is going to swap out with Nia here, and he still has a full field. And here's where a combo comes into play. I'm going to drop Halcyon and then use Mary to basically level up, get my art charge high, and get her a shield as well to survive. And once Halcyon's charging out, I'm saving Hilda to blast the field pretty much. As you saw with Hilda's ability and Mary's secondary ability, on level up I was able to blast the unit in front and then the rest of the field using Mary's ability. And then using Momo I gain advantage and I now have Quake, so I can remove units, and I'm just waiting for a chip here, but I decide to go for damage first and they surrender. So that's game, that's the main basis of the deck, and it's very, very fun. So let's Okay, so this one I call Explore Request because we're going to focus a little bit more on exploring for, basically we want to explore for shield cards while using the burn, excuse me, and also using Mage Gu's Inferno if we ever get it. So 3 Fist of Wyvern for the chip, 3 Power Slash for the chip, Mortal Enemies again, Provocation to get our hero art, Amaterasu because it's just really too good to level up in this set, 1 Mage Gu, the quest, and it's the enemy hero takes 3 or more damage, and you explore for Flare, which is deal 2 damage to 1 enemy unit and give that unit take 1 damage every 5 seconds, max 4 times, which is really decent, nice to chip out shields and stuff. Trump card, Sun Goddess, Collapse of Negotiations. We run, just for the heck of it, I decided to run Ride Armor Momo. She gives 1 friendly human or machine unit +1/+2 or +2/+1 and gives them heavy pierce. And the artwork's just amazing, and Momo in the Mega Man X Ride Armor is just perfect. I use it because there is pretty much all humans except for Gu and Amaterasu, so everybody can use it, and with something like Mary, it would really up her damage on her secondary ability. Fated Riders again. I run 2 Princess Fuse. She's a human. When a friendly unit is placed on the field, deal 2 damage to a random enemy unit, so you do burn. And if anything is destroyed by damaging effect, you explore for shield, and it's the old shield. So give 1 friendly unit shield, which is nice. So the basis idea of this deck was to explore for shields and explore for options to do damage on the board using actions. Shino again, Nina again. I kept Himiko in here. You could put Strider in here, but I kept Himiko for this version to kind of chip things out. Again, 2 Rathalos, 3 Momo. Rathalos can marry, and then Takeda Shingen I put in because he's also a good growth unit for this new meta, and he's only a growth 2. And a growth 2, he does at level 2 he does Art Charge 2, level 3 does +2/+2, so he becomes a 4/9, and at level 4 he explores for Fern Kazan, which is an Art Charge +2, plus gives a friendly unit +2 attack and agility, and reduce all damage, and if 3 or less taken by this unit to 1. So they basically become a tank. You get more Art Charge. You do some clear board damage. It's just really, really good if you want to do this Explore version. And then Hilda again. You can use Shingen in the other build instead of Luna. Again, you can play around with it. You could also use Strider in this deck very well. This is just the one that seemed to work very well for me. So let's take a look at a game on this one. Okay, so this game is against another top player, and he's playing Ouroboros, which is all of a sudden making an okay comeback. I haven't seen a lot of it, but what I have seen is very, very strong. I don't like my huge opening hand here, but I'm willing to work with it because of the 2 damage cards, plus Hilda, Momo, and Mary. But he puts down a Tyrant, so Tyrant's ability basically is going to hurt him here with all the actions that I'm pulling. I'll be able to even chip him before he even gets to Hilda. And then the reason I used the action there was to prevent him from putting a unit on the field. And by doing that, I've already gained a ton of MP to work with. So I dropped Momo. Basically, Hilda became a 4/8. because when I dropped her right at the right time that she would level up. And then I have Mary, and I have this good field, and I'm going to use the Quake I've pulled to remove the legendary, but he's going to do 8 damage to it, which is in turn going to do 8 damage to me. I decide to art charge and get going on it, and he brings her back, and here's where the double combo comes in. I use Mary, and then I use one on Hilda. I should have used it on Mary again, it would have worked better, but that's the game. It just goes really quick, it snowballs at that point. So that's that one. Let's go look at the last one. Okay, so this last one I call Kinship Request because of Monster Hunter Stories, and Monster Hunter Riders. So for those of you who don't know, this expansion has riders in it, that they ride the monsters, which is from a Monster Hunter spin-off series called Monster Hunter Stories, which has 1 and 2, but there's also all the units we have in this game are based off the mobile game called Monster Hunter Riders, and it's a gacha game. And it's a Japan-only game right now, but it's really, really fun, and all these riders are gacha units, so they actually based it off of that, and the story is actually really cool if you get into it. But I decided, since Monster Hunter Stories 2 just came out this week, I decided to go with basically a rider and monster themed deck, sans adding Amaterasu, just because Amaterasu is really good. So we run 3 Conga Power, and it gives 1 random monster unit in your hand or EX pocket, plus 1 and add Rush. So basically every unit but Amaterasu. Fukoyu Kohi, or Kohei, and it's a 1 cost, and it gives a human unit +1/+1. So it does everything but Rathalos, and Amaterasu, which is really nice. I only run 2 Power Slash, 2 Rekindling of Life. It's an R charge too, and it returns a monster unit to the EX pocket and gives it -2 MP. So it could save it from something like Brainwashed, being destroyed, etc, etc. Really nice return card if you're running a lot of monsters. Mortal Enemies, Amaterasu. I run 3 Sumika, 3 Halcyon, Trump card, Sun Goddess, Collapse of Negotiations, 3 Shino, 2 5 MP Rathalos, Mary, 2 Hilda, and Dread King Rathalos. Dread King Rathalos has Flight and Rush, and after dealing damage to enemy hero, you deal 5 damage to a random enemy unit. So he burns a unit on the board, he does damage to hero, he has Flight and Rush, so he can hit combos in situations like that. So yeah, that's this deck. So let's take a look at a quick game. Again, it's just a theme deck. It's not made to be optimized, but it's fun to play if you want to play a theme deck on, free play or the ladder. And just, yeah, it's very, very fun. So let's go take a look. Okay, so this game is against a Devil Breaker player. And he's up there, so he's been grinding. So we have a way to double chip and open here if we really feel like it with the 2 Shinos, which is fun. But we have a good opening hand. I can cycle anything through if I need to. So I'm waiting for him to drop a unit, and then I wanted to drop it around, but he uses Bombast. So I just decided to drop, and see how I get that double chip for, basically now I have 2 good damage cards in hand. And I've already have 4 levels for if I ever get things that are based off levels. And I bumped the Shino on the bottom because I'm going to have to try to chip out this Itsuki, and he basically shields it, and then I'm like, no, you're not going to shield it, I'm going to take it. And so he pulls it back to the EX pocket to save it for later, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to pull my Shino back, we'll pull back together. I see I have a Rathalos in hand. So my idea initially is to get that Rathalos out and give him Thunder Edge. And that's exactly what I do. So now we can chip, and then I use the Shino and the Rathalos combination to basically run the game at that point. So that's that. Okay, so this first combo is basically the big combo that you've seen a couple times in the games or even in my clips, and it's Hilda combined with Mary to do massive board damage. Use hero art on either one of them. I prefer to use it on Mary first because she gives the art charge, and then she also zeroes out your hero art to start over again, and then use it on Hilda. You'll do 8 in front and then basically 3 around the three times on the field, which is really, really good. So again, that's a massive combo. Let's take a quick look at it. Okay, so this next combo is Sun Goddess Amaterasu with Halcyon. You drop Amaterasu first and then drop Halcyon, and you get a buff and a shield for Amaterasu. And then if you drop another unit, you get the burn damage and the shield on that unit or Amaterasu again. So it's really nice. It's a nice quick 6 MP combo. Just drop, go, and you're good to go. So let's take a look at that one. So I don't have footage of this combo, but this combo can be used with any 2 MP unit or 2 attack unit that's able to chip, plus Momo. But I show with Raslos here, you equal a double level up for Nina. And so you would basically get her +1/+1 plus Jolt for cheap, and then the very next hit she'd already be max level. So it works really, really good. You could also use this combo to level up Momo quicker, because again, Momo's going to get those levels from Rathalos hitting too. So she would be able to distribute HP and then get Quake really quickly. So there's how that goes, and then if Nina has Jolt in, then you get Quake for 1 and Jolt for 1. It's just really, really good. So it's, again, I don't have footage on that one, unfortunately. The update happened and I didn't get it. This last combo I want to show is the double Shino combo, and it's a quick 4 levels, and it's you get the 2 explorers, Bam Bam. For 8 MP you have 2 units on the field with combo, that are 2/5s with combo. You have 2 explorers done, and you also have 4 levels like that, like nothing in a snap of a finger. So it's really, really good. Let's take a look at that one. So overall, I really, really enjoyed this Thunder Edge deck. When I am done with my Request series, I'm not going to be completely done with it. I'm going to take a break from it after I do a Black Hero deck. But when I am good with it, I'm going to probably use the Burning Request or the Action Request or the Explore Request on ladder to try to get up a little bit. As you can see, I haven't been laddering because I've been working on the Request series. So that's this deck. It's very, very fun. It's very interesting. I have a lot of fun playing it. A lot more than I expected, and I really love Thunder Edge and how it vibes with this deck. So yeah, you take care, guys, and I'll see you next time. It's probably going to be a Fernando Gigante video because it was requested in the comments. So thank you, guys. I'll talk to you later.